So, in case you didn't know or were not aware, yesterday, the 12th of December, was the birthday of one Eric Lopez, also known as Kwandaoren66, here on the YouTubes, of course. And today, my birthday happened, because it's the 13th of December, and that's when I was born. I was born on Friday the 13th. Fun fact, I was born on Friday the 13th. Anyway, now the funny thing about this is that technically, in the early hours of the 13th of December, because Eric lives obviously on the West Coast, it was still his birthday at that time, and it was technically my birthday as well. So because of time zones and because of the way the days work, it was technically our birthdays at the same times, even though we were on different days. It's a kind of a cool thing. And yesterday, Eric Skyped me and he was like, "Dude, we should totally do a birthday battle." And I was like, "This is the idea of all ideas. We must do it. It shall be done. It shall be decreed. It shall so happen." And we decided to do it. We had a UU game, and I don't know. It was slightly one-sided, I guess, as to how it fell. And we wanted to do a rematch, but the problem was that I've been out the whole of today and I haven't been able to play him again, and by the time I get this video out it's already really late. I need to be up early tomorrow and stuff, so I'm just going to do this one and hopefully we can have a rematch and I'll upload that sometime soon as well. But for the moment we're going to go with this. We decided on a UU game. We both just threw some random shit together and this is what we had. So I lead off with my Scarfed Omanitan. Now obviously seeing Flygon in the lead spot is kind of a warning signal that he's going to be scarfed as well, and generally Flygons like 95% of the time are scarfed. So I'm going to just go on that assumption, go straight out to Militic to take the predicted Earthquake, or in fact the U-turn. I wasn't sure if you wanted to just U-turn straight out on the first thing, or you just wanted to stab Earthquake it up here, and he decides to Earthquake. So Militic takes it pretty well, not too bad considering I think I'm more specially defensive, and that would make sense. But here I'm going to predict him to switch out, obviously not being able to do anything to Militic, and so I go straight into my Lilligant, knowing full well that he's probably going to be on the defensive, and so I'll be able to get off a Sleep Powder on anything because I should be faster than either of his defensive things like his Umbreon or his whatever the hell else he has, which is low, has a couple of bulky things. So I decided to go for the Sleep Powder knowing that I'll definitely be able to get one off, and turns out he goes into Zapdos' Sleep Fodder, which is perfectly fine. Now, the main idea for him here would obviously be to go back to Umbreon, seeing as he switched it out on my Lilligant, and it seems like the perfect thing to wall it, just because he's able to Toxic stuff. So, predicting him to go back to Umbreon, I go straight into Heracross, and at this point he's like, "Jesus, dude, stop reading my fucking mind." I was pretty much on form right here, as I also threaten him, you know, because so greatly with my Heracross. This is the perfect opportunity to set up a substitute, which is exactly what I do. Sub 3 attack Hera with Moxie is perhaps one of the biggest threats in UU. It's really, really good. Reason being is that Hera forces so many switches that a substitute is so easy to put up, and with all that attack power plus Moxie is just, oh, world of hurt. And he certainly isn't a world of hurt because I'm able to actually one-shot the Hitmonchan. Now, it was a critical hit. He seems to think it didn't matter because he was a more offensive Hitmonchan. He didn't have any HP or defensive investment. I'm not quite sure. I thought it might have mattered. Just my personal experience with Hitmonchan is the fact that that thing is really bulky, but maybe it did, maybe it didn't, maybe someone can run a damage calc, and we'll see. But I actually end up taking out, obviously, with a crit. In comes Victini, and I guess this was kind of a bad play on his, not really a bad play, but him sacking Victini really aided me a great deal throughout this match, because that thing is kind of a big threat to all the dudes that I have, and the fact that I am able to take it out pretty much scot-free with a Stone Edge is pretty helpful. I'm not going to lie, very useful. So at this point, I'm thinking, okay, he's gone into Flygon, probably going to Outrage now, because I am at -2, and he's obviously not going to Earthquake a freaking Heracross, so I'm going to predict that, go straight into Registeel, and Registeel is looking pretty good here. I'm pretty sure that a Scarf Outrage will not be able to, you know, take me down very much because I am basically fully defensive. Actually, I might be specially defensive, but the thing is, it's a Registeel, and I have defense through the roof regardless, so it's not like it really matters. It's a stab Outrage, sure, but it's not going to be doing jack squat to my my bulky body, as I have one here, indeed. So, go for the Seismic Toss, and here I get a little surprise, because his Flygon isn't scarfed. His Flygon is not scarfed in any way, because it has leftovers. I'm like, wait a second. Wait a goddamn second, son! You're running leftovers on your Flygon? I didn't even know that. I could have even U-turned with my Darmanitan on the first turn, but I didn't. And ends up here with me finding out. I'm like, okay, well, that's kind of cool. So Go for the S-Toss again, get as much damage as I can. Now, the reason that obviously I can't do much else apart from S-Tossing is my other moves are Stealth Rock, Thunder Wave, and Iron Head. I'm pretty sure that Iron Head is going to do less than an S-Toss. Thunder Wave is not really useful to me because he's part ground, and Stealth Rocks would be nice to get up, but I just wanted to just keep on hammering at him with the Seismic Toss and do as much damage as I could. So I do all that. I now go into my Zapdos either predicting him to switch out or thinking that maybe I can bank on Confusion Hacks, but neither of those things happen because he's able to get through the Confusion and is actually able to roost on this turn. And I'm like, oh, God damn it, he's running a leftovers roosting Flygon. I have been truly foiled in this way because I didn't expect that whatsoever. But, you know, it is Eric, and he's not necessarily going to run the most standard things. He does like to switch things up a bit, and that Flygon is living proof of such a concept. And, you know, he's played it pretty well so far. So props to him for that, and he's able to switch it out as I go for the Hidden Power Ice. I've been making lots of predictions at this point, so I thought maybe I'll just go for the straightforward play, and he may want to stay in and overpredict, but it wasn't really a good idea because obviously, he was still confused, so there was that going for him on the negative end as well. So really, I probably could have got away with a Thunderbolt there, but I was just gonna play it safe, and exactly what happened. So switching to Milotic as his Umbreon ends up heal belling, which is kind of a bit of a pain because now Zapdos is back awake. The nice thing about it, I guess, is that Lilligant can now sleep something else, but we'll have to see about that when the time comes. For the moment being, I go into Milotic, and my plan here is to dodge a Toxic by scalding him and getting the burn, and then synchronizing the burn over to my Milotic. So instead of having Toxic to rack up on me, I have a burn, which Milotic appreciates much more. Unfortunately, I end up not getting the burn. One time when I want Scald to actually burn for negative reasons, purportedly, even though it is kind of positive reasons, is not going to end up working for me. So, well, I get Toxic, kind of sucks, but now that I am Toxic, I obviously have the Marvel Scale, and I kind of want to keep Milotic at a good amount of health because as long as I'm able to tank at least one hit from the Flygon, I can go for the Ice Beam and pretty much take it out. So my plan at this point is really to sack Registeel. I don't feel that there's any need for it anymore, and I'm going to get Stealth Rocks up as I guess as he switches, but I just really have no use for it, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'll let Registeel take on whatever the hell switches in, and that shall be that. So he ends up going to Flygon as I do get rocks on the switch, and I'm thinking, okay, I really don't care if he Earthquakes me right now. As long as I am able to have Milotic in at a point where he's locked into Outrage, I can live an Outrage, Ice Beam him, and finish him off. So that is really what I'm going to go for. So he Hone Claws here. I'm like, okay, fine, let's just Seismic Toss, just do as much damage as we can. And if he Earthquakes, so be it. If he doesn't, then I can also go into Darmanitan to potentially Revenge Kill, though I'm not quite sure what move on that set would be good, because obviously he resists the Flare Blitz. But we'll see about that. That could be a potential option. I also have some other things that could potentially deal the Flygon, so it's not really going to be too big a deal because he is not scarfed, and so he's not really going to be super fast. I do have things that can outspeed him, but the thing is here is that because of all the stuff that I've been doing earlier on, he thinks now is the good time to try and predict with the Flygon, and he thinks I'm going to probably go out into Milotic, I guess, to take the Earthquake, and so he ends up locking himself into Outrage, which really is going to cost him dearly, because at this point, once his Flygon is down and out of the way, he really only has defensive stuff left. I believe he has Umbreon and maybe some other thing that can't really be like something that's able to sweep, meaning that, you know, basically Flygon is done. He can't sweep with anything unless Umbreon like does some strange stuff. I honestly think that Umbreon is completely a support set, so I'm not sure if it even has any moves. It might have like Payback or something, but it seems like Heal Bell and stuff and Wish seems to be very support oriented, and well, it's going to be extremely difficult for him to come back into this at this point, because I don't know, I made things very difficult for him at the start of the game, and so losing Victini and Hitmonchan and stuff like that was definitely again, I guess, affecting his team negatively in the long run, because well, now he does have Zapdos left. That's a good point. He still has Zapdos, but Thing with Zapdos is that I have easy ways to deal with that as well. I have a Zapdos of my own, which isn't really necessarily the best thing to take on an opposing one with, but it does a decent job at it, and I can certainly live a hit, especially after he's taken Stealth Rock damage. I should probably be doing more amount to him, though, and even Blair also leftovers, because that probably means he's defensive Zapdos. So, especially defensive, that is. And thinking especially defensive Zapdos would be a thing that he would do, I go into my physically offensive thing, which is Darmanitan Hand, which is Scarfed, and I am able to go for the Rock Slide, which is super and duper and effective, and is able to take out Zapdos. And he only has Umbreon and some other guy whose thing I don't remember left, because I can't even remember teams ever, because I don't have a good memory. Blastoise! He only has Blastoise left, that's the thing. Blastoise can be destroyed by either Zapdos or Lilligant, and Umbreon obviously was ripe picking for my Heracross. So ends up there that I'm able to take that game, but hopefully we're going to have a rematch next few days, and I should be posting that as well, and we'll see how that one turns out, and see if you can flip the tables, turn the heads, or whatever you want to say on it. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I certainly did. I had a pretty good day today. I received some nice presents. I went to the guitar shop and I bought myself a new guitar, which is an Epiphone SG. It's pretty damn tasty, I will tell you that much, for free. Though I didn't get the guitar for free. Let's be honest here. It was a birthday present, so technically it was free, but there was money involved in the transaction, so therefore technically wasn't free. But don't worry, I will never charge you a single penny for anything, ever, maybe, unless I try and sell you something, which, unless it's some kind of t-shirt in the future. 5 guys and a giggle teacher. 5 guys and a giggle teacher? No, t-shirt, perhaps, maybe, on the horizon. I don't know. That could be a thing. Maybe. Now I've really gone into a convoluted conversation thing. I'm not even having conversation. I'm talking to myself, though I'm talking to you technically. And now we're hung up on random things. Anyway, I'm done with the rambling. The rambling is finished. We are ended. I am over and stuff and things and such. I'll see you guys next time. I hope you enjoyed this as always, and goodbye.